I think it's unlikely that they would like to completely cut gas supplies to Europe, and I think that would be probably a last resort for Russia. And the reason is because they have very lucrative gas contracts with Germany, but also with other. They have about multiple pipelines that run through various Eastern European states to Western Europe, and then are linked to West Europe via the gas supplies. So I think Europe is dependent on Russia, and Russia is dependent on a financial sense for those gas exports to Europe. So I likened it to being locked in an amicable embrace over natural gas.
And this episode just serves to illustrate very starkly Europe's over-dependence on Russian energy, Russian gas. And in terms of the longer term, you cannot just flip a switch and diversify your supply channels, can you? That takes time. So what are Europe's options?
Yeah, so Europe right now, 35% of their total gas consumption comes from Russian pipelines. They do have imports from Norway, which is not part of the EU. They also have import facilities in mostly Western Europe via LNG regasification. The problem that Europe is facing is that if there is a disruption to Russian gas, there's really very little excess supply that could be brought on in the short term in terms of LNG exports to sort of bridge that capacity should Russian gas cut out for any period of time. You see that reflected in the high spot prices, which basically tells you there's not much available gas. And Qatar and really U.S. suppliers have kind of communicated that to Europe, and it's not an easily solved situation.
Sean, would it be fair to say there's not just a supply or stock problem, it's also downstream? It's a processing problem. Europe does not have nearly enough capacity in terms of processing, of refining for gas, does it?
Well, so Europe supplies some of its own gas from Norwegian Groningen field, which they had slated to take offline in 2022. More recently, they've looked at potentially rolling back that decrease to potentially zero in the production from Groningen to try and offset and try and maintain some of the diversity of gas supply.